There's now banned against him. I think they're not too worried about that. This is a guy with a lot of experience on his side. He definitely has a deep champion pool.
Yeah, it's games like these you often see a Janna get picked up eventually once the first couple row of supports get banned out, and then eventually you can lock in a Janna if you need some disengage. However, if you end up playing a Janna in a poke comp or against a poke comp rather, then you're gonna be rather useless because there's not much to disengage from. I wonder if Giants are gonna go for the repeat performance here because they've ran this poke comp 2 times in a row, almost identical composition. Yes, the Jax is out right now, and Morgana is out as well, but are they just going to find similar champions and still put Pepinero on a poke champion? And then is Fnatic ready for it?
Well, we'll have to see. I mean, that's the thing, because Giants, while they've been playing very well, they have been looking a little bit, I would say, similar styles all through the games. And look at this, Fnatic, the timer ticks down. They're going to go ahead and lock in the Echo as it was left open. Now, that is interesting.
Now, we saw Febiven adapt to Froggen's play yesterday when it came to that matchup, and he just learned how to deal with the Echo. Probably has played it plenty in solo queue as well, and just showed how strong a champion can be. We might see the Diana return here from Pepinero though, to match that mage pile on each other, dive in, aggressive kill combo come out.
Quick shot will definitely be happy. Yeah. Talking about that one in the pre-game there. Giants Gaming have a little bit more time to find out what they want to lock in. Not a whole lot is revealed by locking in Echo right away, but I am a little bit surprised. They didn't seem too keen on playing it or trying to pick it out yesterday, but of course, Giants did target Huni specifically, and a lot of other stuff is left open. Maybe they just think that overall it's a very strong pick if left available.
When it comes to supports, there's not that many left that are considered very meta right now. Definitely tier 1, I would rate Alistar and Morgana, and then Thresh up there as well. So you have to resort to a little bit of lower tier. Nautilus, it's good to an extent to get it early because then you don't give the enemy Nautilus Kalista as well, when we know Reckless has played Kalista yesterday, and if he continues that trend of picking those 2 champions in a row every time, he might be looking for Kalista again, and then at least you have targeted CC from Giant side, and they don't give away too much. Nautilus is a support pick that works in a lot of things. Gragas is a top tier jungler right now. Reignover can still go for his Rek'Sai, and yeah, usually we shouldn't pay attention to hovers, but the
that's an homage right now.
An homage to the king.
Won't go any further in case you haven't watched anything earlier today. But yeah, for Giants Gaming, the Nautilus pick I think makes a lot of sense, as well as the Gragas top tier jungler. So Fnatic, they still have a lot available to them outside of the support and top lane. What do they go for though as the timer ticks down?
Very slow draft from both teams, and not too much information revealed on the first 2 picks. So they're just taking some staple tier 1 picks in both roles. Echo's taken out here, which is, we don't know yet if he's a tier 1 mid laner, but so far he has looked strong, and then the Gragas on the other side. But I just want to see how Fnatic rounds this out, because Daylor has shown the entirety of Spring Split and now at the start of Summer too that he's just a fantastic coach when it comes to drafting. Xavier LeBlanc picked up. Again, fits in many things. However, this means that LeBlanc's likely to go mid, which then poses the question, where is Echo going?
Well, we've already seen him in the jungle once, and people have talked about how he's possibly a top laner. We'll see if that's something Huni's practice he wants to do, but there's still some time on the clock.
This has Huni written all over it though. This high mobility type of champion where you can become unpredictable in what you do, zone control, moving around the map, adding a teleport to that. He can teleport, get somebody dead in 3 seconds, and then ulti back to his lane.
And then he can just travel back 4 seconds so no one even knows. Or rather, before he even misses any farm.
Yeah, exactly.
That's perfect.
Go back to his lane with the ultimate.
Well, I'm really looking forward to that. I hope that actually ends up being what it is. So, with the way it's locked in right now, Giants have got ahead and gone Lulu and Lucian. So, Audrey opts not to go for the Ezreal in this case. Obviously, it's a little bit different of a comp already. And Fnatic have 2 more of their final pickups. I want to see what they round this comp out with.
So, this is the Lulu mid, which is what people usually pick into a LeBlanc to neutralize the laning phase. When she dashes in as well, you can pop the ulti, you can hex her, you can somewhat deal with the LeBlanc. If you ulti yourself while she distortions forward, you knock her up and you cancel the damage she does on you. If you hex her, then eventually you can target her down in fights and prevent her from jumping back.
But how does this affect Giants' overall damage output? Lulu is not necessarily that bully she used to be.
Yeah, early in the mid game, Lulu rise up on her base damages, but as the game progresses, very often you'll see Lulu use her shield for herself, so that takes away one of the damage instances. And Pepinero, we'll get to that later. Pepinero has been the main carry for Giants, but recently we've seen this resurgence of Whirlup doing more damage, of Audrey carrying harder, and it seems that Giants seems to be okay with not putting Peppy in the main carry role here and relying on the top laner and the AD carry to do more of the damage and bring more utility in that mid lane.
Well, that's the way it's trended the last few games for Giants. Audrey has output more damage than Pepinero, and it sees a shift, an evolution of this Giant squad. They'll certainly need it against Fnatic now, who've rounded out their comp. Reignover's gone to a comfortable choice in the Rek'Sai, and Yellowstar picks up an old favorite that we've seen bounce back and forth is Leona.
Yeah, they add 2 tanks to the mix, Rek'Sai in the front line, and then some targeted lockdown from Leona that they can use to get these targets down on the Giants lineup. However, any targets that's going to be heavily focused will obviously receive that Lulu ulti, that Lulu shield, and some peel from both Nautilus and Gragas, so it won't be that easy to burst. But I just love Sivir as a champion, and I think a team like Fnatic, they're one of the teams in the European LCS, alongside with maybe Origin, that can get the most out of that champion. She's a utility-based AD carry. You just get her through the laning phase, and then you group for objectives, and you use that mobility to your advantage. Together with Reignover on Rek'Sai as well, he can then go in deep into the fight and knock people up, and it's a good synergy here. And I just want to watch what Febiven does as well. Is he going to go for the carries? Is he going to try and just CC down the front line? What is Fnatic's approach going to be against his quite tanky, almost low damage lineup from Giants Gaming?
Yeah, and that, speaking of tanks, but also some early bruiser reaction, I want to take you up top a little bit as the timer ticks down here to postulate a little bit on this Echo and Renekton matchup. Renekton is one of those champions that Werlib tried to use a little bit more when he was trying to find his post-Jax identity in the spring. What do you make of that matchup?
Well, now Renekton is always good at dueling in melee range, so Echo is very nimble, very swift, wants to dash around, stun somebody, but if he actually goes in and tries to connect some blows on Renekton, then he can use his W, stun down Echo. If Echo tries to run away with that movement speed that he gets from Z-Drive Resonance, then at least you have Slice and Dice to follow Echo in that sense. However, Renekton is very slow, scales very slowly into the mid to late game. I mean, he falls off at one point.
There's something interesting going on this game. We thought that was going to be a for sure swap, but we've got ourselves...
We've missed something here, Pyra.
A Lucian for Pepinero. Maybe we called it a little too early. Well, that might affect some votes right now. Speaking of which, FNC win, GIA win. You guys know the hashtags, but we are already on the Rift for the start of day 2 of week 3.
I knew the Spanish loved their sangria, but they like themselves some cheese as well. We see Audrey here with the Lulu. Is he going to end up mid? Or bot? Because I said Pepinero is not going to be the carry, right? Because they want utility and they want the utility from the Lulu, but they might just say Pepinero says, okay, I'm out of mid lane champions, I will do the job in the AD carry role. And send Audrey mid on Lulu.
That's already looking to be a different game as we start things off the board. Line of scrimmage, but a few players are not in their normal positions.
Now it does seem that this Lulu will be played mid lane. It's running the offensive ignite as well. Audrey definitely wants to put some pressure on that lane, and then Pepinero has the heal.
30 seconds.
Likely that Eli should be the AD carry then.
Yeah.
This is interesting. I like it.
Yeah, it's a bold move there. Let's see how it works out. All right, as Huni is going to go ahead and find a Werlib to start things off. Throws out his Time Winder. Everyone's loving him, but can he get out of this situation? Werlib is slicing and dicing. Frederick's coming up. Time Winder slows Werlib for a second, but Huni might be in some trouble here. He's going to have to get back to tower and base.
Yeah, a little bit of action in the early game, but overall, nobody goes down. Even start. No lane swap either. Now, the Sivir-Leona matchup is actually pretty tricky. I feel it into the likes of Nautilus Lucian. I feel they should definitely have the edge here in that matchup, but Fnatic opts to still give Huni the 1v1 against Werlib. No swap coming out. Let's see.
We've got our normal start.
See how they do these golems? You want to watch?
That is always the important thing.
Whatever on the Leona lane, it does.
I wonder how a different Pepinero is going to perform in this AD carry role. He's of course going with Drop Roof with Godfrey.
Now on a lane where you have very little AoE and only a reset from the Leona on the auto attack, it is okay to take down that small golem first and stay a little more healthy. Because you're very likely to get pushed in by Nautilus and Lucian, because even though Sivir has great wave clear and push, level 1 with that bouncing blades right there, Nautilus' E, Riptide is on like a 5.5 second cooldown base, or 6 seconds, something like that, and it just clears wave way quicker than Leona can do. All she has for wave clear is 2 relic stacks, and that's not enough, so we'll see that wave very likely push towards Fnatic.
Very likely indeed. So, things have gotten off to a nice and easy start. I'm interested to see where the two junglers go. Reignover can definitely put a lot of pressure on early game. So can Frederick. Let's see how they utilize it though.
Pepinero showing some hesitance here. Maybe not used to laning, but I feel like they could have definitely forced the push there. They might feel safer on the sanctity of their own tower though, but this opens up Yellowstar to get a bit of a deep ward and find out where Frederick started and possibly find Frederick. This gives Reignover some more information, and Reignover always works well with information. He's such a smart jungler, always knows where to be, whether to shadow his lanes, basically wait in the wings for the counter gank, or go aggressive and get that gank. And I don't like the Fnatic gets to push this bot lane in, because that's exactly what Sivir wants to do. Yes, you remove the offensive potential from Ileana because obviously she can't dive in under tower, but she masters her weakness, which is that she's a melee support with very binary all-in engagement here. Werlib?
Yep, speaking of all-in, Werlib's going to go get the jump off on Huni so far. Big Croc is trading quite well. He's got to be careful though. Timewinder came out of flying and Huni's able to push him back. But yeah, back to your point about Reignover, as he's starting to come up here, Werlib could be in some trouble. He does always seem to know where to be, the right place at the right time. Sends the Prey Seeker. Werlib looks to try and pick a kill. A flash for flash. Werlib is going to go for a dash, and Reignover still behind him. Huni smacks the Croc with the bat. And
good
first blood.
Flash by Huni, getting out alive here. He received Frederick posturing for the return gank, but Febim's not going to fall for it. And Renekton is such an early game top laner. He needs to start that snowball to get fed and actually keep the edge damage-wise over Huni. This kill is big. Probably the biggest kill you could have in the game right now. In any lane, if you could have one matchup, get one kill ahead, I definitely think Huni is the one you want to get ahead, because he was getting zoned in CS. He was getting pressured. He baited the Crocodile.
Now he's got himself a nice new pair of Croc skin boots. Frederick goes for a bit of a Krug steal, gets out of it, but Yellowstar was able to spot him on the retreat, so they know exactly where that fat man is. Reckless and Pepinero duking it out to the bottom farm-wise.
Yeah, Fnatic on the top of the game. We see double pings come out, so Godfred spotted. Obviously, Frederick was spotted, but they're communicating it yet again, and we saw in the feature earlier, Fnatic's communication seems to be on point. They seem to be in sync, playing this game very well. It's very rare that you see a Fnatic member get caught with their pants down, you know, get caught in an awkward gank that they could have expected, and they're very calculated in their approach. And Giants, so far they seemed like they were as well, to an extent, but a slightly sloppier version, and they paid the price. But even now, Werlib is still ahead in CS in that matchup, so it just shows how valuable that gank was.
Yeah, and he's still pushing Huni in. You have to wonder if Reignover just doesn't decide to spend a majority of his time up in this top side. You can see him moving for it right now.
Now, he's afraid of the counter gank by Gragas, because obviously, if you have a winning matchup 1v1, you're going to lose a 2v2. But as we said earlier, that little deep ward from Yellowstar revealed where the jungler was, told Reignover, hey, you're safe to gank top.
Speaking of junglers,
now he finds Frederick yet again.
Well, he was coming around the side, but this could be a powder keg.
He has Huni in the backline. Huni's the one that's going to be moving first right now. So you see, this Fnatic is always ready to help each other. Always that buddy system.
The communication is just there. They're always able to make it happen. Now Frederick, he's going to be jumping, or rather moving away up towards the top side. Reignover did spot him out, but everyone knows what's happening right now on the Fnatic side.
Yeah, this is Reignover just shadowing. Very telegraphed dredge on here by Godfred. So not much will come out of that, but this is Huni shadowing the top lane. He's not going in for another gank, because if he gets counter ganked, he will die. Just wants to find Gragas.
Uh-oh, Reignover could be in trouble with the flash. Frederick will be able to solo down the Rex side.
A little overzealous there. Imagine he started to go. Good move by Frederick. Good read to punish Reignover, because if you want to get to Huni, you probably want to take out Reignover first, then get Huni down, because he will always be waiting in the wings. Robe still has a bit of a lead here.
Yep, he is going to throw down his W. Werlib couldn't really get out in time. The parallel convergence made sure of that. Frederick now turns his attention towards the middle. Febivin
low on mana.
He in some trouble, baited by the low health Audrey, but he's got the spot on. In comes the belly slam. Febivin, can he get away? He's got his dash, and he will start his back, but unfortunately he's past his spot before that happens. He's safe though.
And Febivin holding that gap closer to the latest moment. He wanted Audrey to flash in and then maybe make a cheeky play with flashing forward himself, igniting Audrey, getting a kill, getting out that way. He could have dashed out earlier, so he was definitely setting up a bait. He knew Gragas didn't have enough damage to take him down on alone, and he had the flash ready to dodge any of Audrey's damage right there.
Yellowstar coming up for signature roam right now. Just kind of stopping the back.
Yeah, and this is, well, it may look like not much. It delays the back timers by 2 people, by at least a full back channel, which is around 8 seconds. Again, more tempo for Fnatic. They can make the next move first now and just keep that tempo rolling.
Yeah, grabs those little tiny edges that Fnatic thrives on. They turn them into big things. This is a team that will make you make mistakes, and they will punish you for them.
Yeah, and how is Pepinero going to do in the AD carry role? He formerly was a bit of an AD carry himself, but is he going to have that same impact in the game? Obviously, AD carry role is vastly different to mid laners, vastly different to the mid laners that Pepinera has played. Yes, maybe he played a Varus once, but while he serves a different role in the fights, right? His initial poke to set up these fights is vastly different compared to being the main damage dealer in these fights, dashing forward, having to deal with these tanks. Poke and clutch fighting, very different.
He's gonna phase dive in. Whirlip is gonna jump on in. Gets himself stunned up for just a second, baited right into it. Huni is starting to fire back on all cylinders.
Yeah, Huni wants to go for these short trades and get that shield up, do some damage in Whirlip, and then get out, whether it's by using parallel convergence to stun, or using a phase dive component to dash out. We see Fnatic in the wings here.
Frederick is waiting. Whirlip is gonna turn on his ultimate. Huni has to be careful. He might have gotten baited himself, and he's going to time wind back. Chrono Breaker as Frederick now finds a Rainover. The damage comes through. And it's a jungler on jungler, but Rainover comes up with a kill.
Yeah, Whirlip with the classic move. Hey, it looks like I don't know this matchup. Going in too deep, almost obviously so. Huni reads it perfectly. He stays back, calls in the support from Rainover, doesn't want to go too aggressive, and once he gets that support from his jungler, that's when he turns on the damage. And that was a lot of damage.
Yeah, it was. That's what a warrior enchantment will do for you this time of the game. So, with all that said and done, take stock of where we are in this game. Only 9 minutes on the board. Fnatic have made some clever moves. Giants have gotten at least one solo kill, courtesy of Frederick finding Rainover. Everything else has been a little bit more quiet. Got to be careful there. Yellow Star backing away from Pepinero and Godfred.
Now this lane completely switches gears once Leona and Sivir hit level 6, because then you don't need to use the Zenith Blade to be your gap closer. You can literally just pop on the hunt, close into the Lucian, force his dash, then follow and trail him with your Zenith Blade, block him down immediately, and get the all-in potential. The reason Leona struggles into his lane because the root, the CC from Nautilus initially is too big, punishes Leona too much if she goes in, and then she loses those trades because the all-in will not be enough to pop Lucian. But once you hit level 6, you have so much mobility, you have an extra crowd control component rather, and you can really punish the Lucian.
And remember, they focused 2 out of the 3 bans this game on Godfred. They're really banking on the fact that he won't be nearly as comfortable on this Nautilus pickup. As you mentioned, a lot of his moves, they've not been particularly bad. They've just been very telegraphed. They've been very obvious. You can tell that the finesse level just isn't there the same way his Morgana has been.
I mean, he relied just on providing a lot of utility and just throwing out his binding. If it sticks, yeah, we can go in. If it doesn't, you don't get punished for it. Black Shield is always useful. Nautilus is to an extent a more complex champion. But the bot lane is not where this game is made or broken rather. You wanna look at the top lane, you wanna look at Huni, you wanna see what Febiven can do here. Is he gonna roam? Saw some damage on Frederick.
Well, we're about to see Huni.
Here's Huni.
Roam, Frederick. There's a phase dive dashing in. The barrel comes out, but Audrey is in some trouble.
Solar
Throw
flare
down the solar flare, and Rainover will gobble up another.
And this is a signature Fnatic move. At one point in the game, they will call all their members to the mid lane. Huni flanks from the top side. Yellow Star comes in from the bot side. Now Huni teleports back to top because his job is done. Dragon secured, and Fnatic does this a lot, especially against weaker mid laners. These utility mid laners that have to stay at bay, and they won't die 1v1 because it's more of a poke matchup. But once more people enter the fray, then they drop dead. And good move by Fnatic, and Giants was too late to react.
Giants were too late to react indeed. So, Fnatic advantage to them. They've got themselves 2,000 gold ahead. They've got a dragon to boot. And they are making all the moves on the map. Giants will have to find a way to react. And, you know, in many ways, this game is the real test for them. You know, yes, they lost to Origin. They played a lot of other teams much more lower on the totem pole. But if they can make a dent in Fnatic, as unlikely as it seems, this tells everyone in the LCS, we're a team you have to be afraid of.
Yeah, Huni going in on Whirlip yet again, gets a bit of a counter trade, backs off. But I don't even think this is as much of a test for Giants as it is like a challenge. Everybody expects Fnatic to win here, just in the fashion in which they do so, it will be the question right here. And as you say, can Giants make it then? Where are they? Are they a middle of the pack team that played a little, you know, got a little lucky, had a little more wins than expected? Or are they that solid top 5 contender right now? Maybe top 4 contender like they're right now? Only time will tell. But they have faced Origin already, they have faced Fnatic now. So the next few matches will be important for Giant too.
Still can't 100-0. The power of that Lulu. Audrey is rocking right now. Meanwhile, up in the top, Huni, he could be in some trouble. The barrel will knock him back, and he's going to jump back in. Whirlip still tanking the line as Frederick forced to flash away. Huni diving and dashing in again. Frederick just won't go down. And battered and bruised. Everyone will back away except Audrey. Rainover intercepts him, knocks him up, and there's a wild growth forced out. Challenging Smite is down. Prey Seekers are flying. Audrey
Here's Febiven.
trying to stay alive, has the slow, has the polymorph. Febiven picks off Frederick, and with no one to help him out, Audrey's gonna fall as well. Fnatic on the tower up top.
And none of the Fnatic members die here. And in reaction here, Yellowstar going for the stun.
Yes, he is. Reckless, he could be in some trouble on the Hunter's pot, but he's burning away. And that is Pepinero throwing down his ultimate to try and stay alive. Godfred runs right into the stun, but there it is. The piercing light to take down Reckless.
And that's the problem when you're peeling for your AD carry against the Lucian. You tend to line up, you give your AD carry, you know, in line of fire for the Lucian to use piercing light, and you extend that projectile, and then you basically kill your AD carry. Not much to do there. Fnatic went a little eager, didn't get the stun off. Arrow.
Yep. Pepe's able to get out of dodge. Oh, Yellowstar's around the side, but he's a little bit too low to try and do something. Mooney just able to take a parting shot. Now, in this matchup, I want to go back to how they didn't swap around, because I almost wonder if this is something a little bit more personal for Pepe. In a little esports interview, he said that, hey, Reckless, this is the guy who's my rival. So maybe he just wanted to play against him this time.
Yeah, maybe he did, but I don't think it's... I won't necessarily call it a bad move. I think it's good for Giants that they had the even matchup here, because Real had to get ahead of Hooney. Might get ahead of Hooney here.
Yep, Hooney is...
Out of mana.
Got some backup, but yes, he can't really do too much. Reckless is there, though. However, with the Boomerang Blade, Hooney does have auto text just enough for a parallel convergence, but Werlib is able to walk out of it.
Yeah, Fabian lurking in the wings, though, spotted by the ward.
Really trying to make the aggro plays here. Pepinero discovers Febiven. Frederick misses the big barrel. Yellowstar gets the jump on him after, and Febiven's just fine. There goes the solar flare. Frederick, he's going down. Febiven comes up. The kill number 2 for him.
Yeah, what Frederick tried to do there was predict the distortion from Febiven and knock him back immediately, but he threw his barrel too early. Simple as that. Bit of a mistake out of him, and Fnatic is now 3,000 gold ahead at the 15-minute mark. That's a major lead right now.
It's a very major lead.
So they extended by another tower.
They get that one down. 1 tower to 0, 1 dragon to 0. Take away a blue buff. Nom nom nom. We take everything away from you. That is the Fnatic style. So, dragon coming up in 2 minutes. They're getting ready to secure some vision around there. And Giants don't seem to have an answer.
The Giants seem a little stuck. They put their main carry player, Pepinero, on the AD carry position into a matchup where it's very hard to carry from. You need to get really fed to continuously kill a Sivir, because she always has the option to play safe. We saw that Hooney goes in for a teleport here. Might opt to go back in time. Finds Godfred.
Find Godfred. They throw the chains on. Febiven's there to help him out. That's a big Nautilus with a wild growth from Audrey, but they still might take him down. Looking to dive that tower, and Yellowstar gets the kill credit. Rainover flashes in, knocks up. Audrey parallel convergence is down on him. No, it doesn't connect, but it doesn't matter. Rainover still gets the kill as Audrey answers on Febiven.
Fnatic almost just toying with their food right here. Reckless going in for yet another kill, and Rainover, he always knows when he can dive. Hooney,
a little too deep.
He needs to go back 30 seconds in time to escape that one, but Fnatic a little audacious, a little overzealous, one could almost argue, but they're not afraid to take these risks right now to snowball that game, because they know they have that nice little buffer of 4,000 gold, and it's definitely a comfortable position to be in. But yeah, we saw on the bot lane, to go back on that point I was making, as Pepinero dashes in here. The only kill he really got was a punish on a bit of a misplay, all-in engage from Reckless and Yellowstar's side, so it's hard for him to carry in this lane if Sivir plays safe. It's incredibly hard to punish a Sivir lane, so when you pick Sivir as one team, you tell your teammates, hey, it's up to my carries to farm, but also you tell the enemy team, hey, even if you gank me, I will still bring utility, so the action shies away from the bot lane, and if you have your main carry player for Giants stuck in that bot lane, unable to snowball, unable to carry, improving difficult. They put all their eggs in the Crocodile Whirlwind basket, but good read by Rainover. Following up on that ward in the early game, they spotted Frederick. Rainover reacted by going top, got that first kill in those very first rough few levels in the Echo Renekton matchup.
Yes, indeed he did. So, Fnatic in prime position to once again take over the Dragon Pit. It's not yet 18 minutes on the clock. Frederick zoned away by Rainover. And by the way, Rainover has just had a hell of a game already. 5-1 and 2 to start this off. He's been pretty much all over the map where he needs to be. Rek'Sai, that's not as difficult as some other champions, but he's made very good use of it. You can tell that this is why this is such a comfortable pick for him.
Yeah, out of all jungle champions that Reignover plays, I just like seeing the most on his Rek'Sai because he's such a high tempo jungler. He always has something in mind. He's always thinking 2 steps ahead. He's not just aimlessly wandering around the map, always with a purpose. Febiven going in though.
Yep, and so is Huni. He'll phase dive for a kill. Why not?
Pop, Peppy, narrow, and he goes down again. Or for the first time here, rather. And yeah, not looking good for Giants here. Tower on bot lane fell. Tower middle falls now. They lost their AD carry. Or their mid laner. You guys can choose what to call him. They have a scaling, or a slow scaling Crocodile in the top lane that got put behind. They have a bit of a tanky jungler, utility mid laner, and a tank support. So no damage come out of Giants. And Febiven, he wants more.
Yeah, he does. The barrel is still not going to hit. It was just outside of the range, and in comes Huni as well. Timewinder in full combo. Huni. Oh man, that's just...
Yeah, Fnatic is misjudging the weight on his barrels. One too short, one too far. Maybe the next one he hit right on the money, but...
Oh, they need it soon.
They need it soon. Well, they needed about 5 minutes ago.
They are running out of time against this Echo, against this Rek'Sai as well, and Fnatic are doing just so phenomenally well across the map. But for Giants, what do they need to do to slow this pace?
I mean, they need to stop the bleeding somehow, but they're bleeding a lot. Because if you look right now, it's 7,000, 6,000 gold ahead for Fnatic. You remember 3 minutes ago I was talking, or 4 minutes ago I was talking how it was a 3,000 gold lead. Fnatic's expanding their gold lead rapidly.
Yeah, they are continuing to extend this lead over and over and over again. And this is one of those things Fnatic is so good at. We've seen the likes of Origin do the same thing. And these are why these teams have yet to lose a game. It looks the way things are going. Fnatic are eyeballing that 6-0 start here.
Yeah, we're very well on our way to get a 6-0, 6-0 match of the week next week of Origin Fnatic. But let's not get too ahead of ourselves. We're still in this game. Giants, they want to find an opening. But look at the vision, and this is what Fnatic does when they get ahead in that mid game. Systematically moving up those lines of vision. We see wards at the Wolves. We see wards usually around the Wraiths to control. Those are the things you want to control if you're out of objectives, but you don't quite yet want to push tier 2 towers. You steal away the possibility of the enemy smiting his own Wolves. So you rob him of a potential to get free vision. Then you smite away the Raptors too, and you deny them the possibility to clear the wards in your jungle. Then you take their buffs.
Don't give them anything in return. There is still a ward Giants have. A couple of them scattered near and far around the map, but there's not a whole lot that Fnatic are really giving away here as they continue to shove Giants further in on the map.
Yeah, and they can wait, you know, they have the luxury of time on their side because they have the better late game right now. Eventually they start upgrading these trinkets and sweep out all those wards that Giants managed to sneak in.
And even if they, give up that time advantage, they can always rewind 4 seconds and try it over again.
Exactly, they can. And Huni, let's take a look. If you're looking to play top lane Echo, guys, for whatever reason, you want to follow, and you want to follow in the footsteps of the mighty Huni, you want a lot of CDR. A lot of utility comes out of Echo, dashes around nimbly and swiftly. You want those CDR boots, you want that Morellonomicon, then you want a Sheen. But remember, you're very squishy. I don't think he has that much HP just yet. I'm just going to check on my own screen here. Around 1600, 1.6k. That can get bursted. So that's how you want to deal with an Echo, by the way. You want to pop him when he gets overzealous, stun lock him, and prevent him from ulting out.
And this is exactly what Giants have failed to do. They've not been able to control Huni. They tried to shut him down a little bit early. You saw a lot of attempts by Frederick to make moves up to the top, but Reignover was a little bit too quick there. And as speaking of quick, he goes ahead and takes away a Krug as well. I mean,
yeah, it's all these small advantages that just end up building up for Fnatic. They steal away a Krug here. They steal away a Raptor here. They smite the Wolves so they get some extra vision. Kill some wards. And Giants, they're trying to get back to the game here, but Huni's going in on Peppy.
Yes, he is. Timewinder's out. Peppy's trying to kite away. Huni.
Oh, he wants to bait Peppy.
There's a teleport, though.
He wants to bait and jump back to his clone here.
Not with Warlib there anymore, but yeah, that was the idea. They did burn the teleport, however, so they will have the timing advantage. When the Dragon's coming up, it's a minute and a half away. Not get that reduced cooldown thanks to teleporting on a ward instead of his tower. Still a nice move, and it didn't burn Fnatic at all. They've literally given up almost nothing here, but Huni's got to be careful, got to dash away from Warlib under this tower. And now Rainover has found Godfred flash away from the solar flare. In comes the barrel to try and zone him out, but Febiven has caught Godfred again, who's getting stunned up by the chains mid-dredge. In comes Febiven trying to pick him up, but the wild growth is on. Turret gets answered in the bottom by the big croc. That's about all Werlib can do right now, and Huni is out.
Yeah, Fnatic aggressively defending that vision here. Febiven flashes over to wall just to land more abilities on Godfred. They want to chunk out everybody, get those pink wards up, and then bait the Baron. Giants, they will have to face check if they want vision on the Baron.
And they're going to check right into it. They turn their attention to Pepinero and fire him down immediately. Frederick is the next target. He's going to pop, and Audrey forced to flash away. Febiven's not done yet, though. Glitter lands to slow him down. Will he be able to stay alive? For now, the answer is yes, but they're going in again. In comes Huni, and he is just going to burst him down. Godfred taken out by Huni.
You see the determination of Fnatic, zero hesitation as well. They blow offensive flashes to get control of the jungle of Giants, immediately move into a bait position. Huni goes back in.
He's going again! Huni, rampage kill. Has he gone too deep? Will he rewind in time fast enough, or will he even need to? Throws at the time winder. Werlib is just set to chase him all day as Febiven has closed the net. He's gonna get him bursted down, and now Werlib, the hunter becomes the hunted. Throwing the big croc. Huni thinks about going back in. But that's all it is.
Fnatic is consistently 2 steps ahead of Giants, but also have the opportunity to go 1 step back in time, and it's proving very hard for Giants to deal with this. Let's watch this again. Parallel conversions, dash in, but immediate to focus on Pepinero. He goes down. Frederick, and now you have to run. Run away from a Sivir is incredibly hard. Audrey flashes over, and I mean, it speaks for itself right here. Fnatic are toying with their prey. They could have turned back and went for the Baron rush, but Huni... Yeah, we say how Fnatic's always on the same page, how they always know what to do as a team.
That proved
They
it.
did, but then Huni, well...
Until the very end.
Huni wanted more blood. He didn't like that Baron, but Fnatic managed to secure that anyways. 3 man, so spreading their resources out efficiently.
Yes, indeed. So, with all that said and done, yes, Baron was taken after the fact. Big fight in favor of Fnatic. Extend the gold lead even farther. It's over 10,000 now, Crepo. It's only 24.5 minutes in. Fnatic's average game time has actually been quite long this split so far. We've seen no games really go under 36 minutes. They're 12 under that now, and they're already getting close to knocking on inhibitor turrets. Dragon now goes down. Huni, though, he might be in some trouble. Parallel convergence. There's the solar flare. That combo is so fantastic. Chrono breaker. Reckless will pick off Werlib, and now Godfred running for his life as the rest of Fnatic look to converge on him.
You think you're catching Huni, but actually he's just luring you in, popping that parallel convergence, waiting for you to walk in. Then he stuns you, then Yellowstar follows up. And as you said, the gold lead is now even bigger, 12,000 gold. Roughly ahead here, 13,000 gold almost for Fnatic. And while the gold tells a story, also the look at the kills. 17 to 4. Fnatic's getting a lot while not giving much away. Also 3 dragons to none. They're completely controlling this game. I don't quite remember the last time Giants actually made a move that crossed the river. They've been stuck on their side of the pitch for pretty much the entire game now. Fnatic slowly choking the life out of them, you know, stealing away that tiny objectives, you know, a wolf here, a Krug there, a raptor here, get all the vision. Then they use the darkness to their advantage to bait the Baron. And Giants, they're always stuck between 2 very bad choices. One that's completely bad, and one that's, you know, slightly less bad, but...
Either way it's bad.
Yeah, either way it's bad. So Fnatic forces them into, you know, just forced errors. And
yeah, they're starting to shove them in. You know, you said it was a slow choke, but at this point, I feel like this game is very accelerated as Fnatic, 26 minutes on the clock, have this near insurmountable lead and just shoving Giants further and further back. Soon they're going to fall off the ledge. Fnatic nearing inhibitor number 2. They've still got wave control up top. Giants just can't fight this, and now Fnatic are interested in diving. Febiven is going to their inhibitor and all of that. Now he's jumping forward. That's Huni, who jumps himself back. Rainover, however, is tanking tower shots, and he's got to be careful. Huni looks to jump in, throws down the convergence, chasing everyone back to Fountain. That's 2 inhibitors now for Fnatic. They can back and shop at their leisure.
yeah, they take down the inhib. They try for a couple of kills. Giants proving a little bit too tanky here. Huni, he could get back even earlier. He's just... I feel like Huni's balancing on the edge of those fights almost on purpose to push his limit, to see how far he can go.
This isn't even his final form, Crepo.
May very well not.
Oh, Febiven, whoa, Pepinero, gotta be careful. Oh, really was excited for this this switch around between Peppy and Audrey this game, but they've really not gotten much of a chance to showcase it. This Fnatic team has just beat them down time and time again.
I think it can be an alright strategy to catch people off guard, but Fnatic is probably one of the worst teams to do it against. Huni found his toughest opponent on the rift rather.
Red buff. Red
buff.
back.
Red Brambleback. But yeah, Fnatic is a team that adapts very well, so if you're gonna cheese any team, or well, you know, not cheese, but throw off any team, throw them a curveball. Fnatic is probably one of the worst teams to do that again. In addition to that, Reckless is a very adept AD carry when it comes to playing passive, when it comes to playing safe. You put him on a champion like Sivir, where his job is to play safe and provide utility for the team, then it's obviously going to be very hard for Pepinero to find an opening there. In addition to that, Godfred was probably stuck on his number 3 choice support, number 4, if you count in Alistar too, that they were forced to ban.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just doesn't all add up very well.
Yeah, and if you're going to try to throw somebody off too, Fnatic is a team that they have dealt with this over the spring split with Unicorns of Love, who were one of their hardest opponents during the regular season, and then of course in the finals when they were able to beat them in an epic 5-game series in Madrid. You can't really surprise this team. There's just too much experience there, which is kind of interesting considering a lot of them were rookies last split. And now it looks like we're in the end game right here. Crepo Audrey just gets evaporated. Pepinero now looking to fall next. They jump all over, and now the Nexus turrets are falling. Giants can barely sit at Fountain safely, and this game is all gonna be over. 28.5 minutes on the clock. It is Fnatic's fastest win this split, and they will take down Giants Gaming.
Yet another convincing win for Fnatic.
It's even more convincing.
Repeat scenario. The way Reckless talked about his match against the Elements as well, he said, I don't really care about who it is, it's just another game to play, another win to take. And they do it, seeming so a bit casual. But yes, no shame for Giants. Coming into the season, a lot of people, including myself, expected Giants to rank at the bottom of the split, of the tables rather.
And they've far surpassed that.
10th place perhaps, but we've seen a resurgence in Giants, and obviously you're gonna hit a couple roadblocks along the way. Obviously have a new support. Just couldn't really open up this game, but very few teams will be able to open up Fnatic, if any at all, and we'll see that next week when they face Origin. But for now, fantastic game. And again, I feel Huni and Reignover stole the show in this match. Febiman did his job, he went even and eventually started roaming and picking up kills, but Reignover's early game is just fantastic.
Yeah, and I want to also give some credit to Yellowstar for stacking up with Huni. The parallel convergence solar flare combos were really incredible. Like they knew exactly where to place them. They knew that they could use one as an insurance policy against the other. Recognizing the timing, that is something that Fnatic does very well.
Yeah, they did combo their CC well, but I feel at that point the game was already in its final fold.
It's true.
And it just opened up with Huni, and that was a crucial matchup to watch here. Yes, we saw Echo do well. Yes, we saw Huni toy around with his opponent, but it could have gone differently. He faced this early damage threat rather in Whirlip, and he could have gotten the worst end of the shorter end of the stick here, but he had Reignover in support. So teams will have to be careful to just blindly pick Echo top lane, because he can get shut down with an early gank. Almost feel as if Frederick should have started at the bot side of the map, cleared his way to the top, and just shadow Whirlip and allow him, you know, to reign dominance over Huni in that matchup, because that was definitely the crucial player in this game. Huni, and then to an extent Febivan. You don't have to be around a bot lane on your second camp, because Sivir's utility AD carry.
Yeah, utility, and provided quite a lot of it. They did exactly what they needed to do. Fnatic executed a well-laid plan. Now for more to break down that game, we're going to send it over to the analyst desk with a standing by for a look into Fnatic's win.